Yeah, welcome to Anita Vita Rise. All right, everybody, welcome. It's Anita Vita Rise. Anita Vita Rise. Yeah, Anita Vita Rise. Yeah, Anita Vita Rise. Yeah, who can make you better? Anita Vita Rise. In all types of weather, Anita Vita Rise. Get you back together, Anita Vita Rise. Go send her a letter, Anita Vita Rise. Anita Vita Rise. Anita Vita Rise, yeah. Anita Vita Rise, yeah. Yeah. Anita Vita Rise.
Welcome to Rise with Anita Vita. I am your host, Anita Vita, Master Medical Qigong teacher and healer. I'm so grateful and thankful that you are here for another episode. As you know, I am always featuring amazing women who inspire, who empower, share their story and gifts so that they become a ripple effect to the world. Today, I'd love to introduce to you a fantastic, amazing woman. She is a personal development expert, Miss Philippines World 2003. She is the creator and founder of Mafae Management, host, model, entrepreneur, athlete, super mama, you name it. She's all of it, all the beautiful hats. Please help me welcome Mafae Belasco to the show, everybody.
Hi, Anita.
Hi.
How are you?
I am well,
Just having
sis.
a bit of a thing with the camera. There I am.
Hi.
Is it like just a wow factor?
Absolutely.
But that's how we start life, right?
Yes. We pivot when we need to, and it's all good. It is not perfectly planned, no matter how planned we want it. It just,
exactly.
We will flow, right? And
Yes.
in opening up and kicking off the topic of flow this month, how are you doing? Let us know who you are, what do you do? Yeah, and just inspire us and motivate us as much as I know that you do that for me too.
Yes. Every week I'm tuned in on Rise with Anita because I just love the vibe. You know what they say, your vibe attracts your tribe. So I'm just so grateful that we were able to connect, especially during this time, because I also needed to be surrounded by amazing women that can light that fire within me. And I know earlier I need to share that I've done a lot in my life, and I see it as learning experiences that God has gifted me, you know. And like you said, we flow. And that's always something that I have pursued when it comes to opportunities that's placed in my plate. I mean, if I can introduce myself now, I would say, yes, I am a daughter of God. I am a sister to my brothers. I'm also a daughter of my parents and a wife to my amazing husband, Nick, and a mother of 6 beautiful, amazing children. And I know I'm also a mother to many. But with all that being said, I need to always fill my cup or surround myself with people that empower me to make sure that I can be at service for others all the time. And there you see, already a busy woman with them alone, but they light my heart with happiness when I see those smiles on their faces. I think that it goes to show where my parents instilled that in me because I saw that in them. They worked so hard to make sure that my brother and I, and of course now my brothers, because when I left my house, I only had one brother at that time. And then when I pursued leaving to achieve a goal, my mom fell pregnant to my youngest brother, and I just feel as though that, the people that are given to us are gifts. They're blessings, and just like you giving me the strength, especially the past couple of days, just even through text message and the energy. It's so amazing, and I was looking forward for this conversation because it's not going to be the typical interview that I normally have. I just know that you will heal me even during this conversation, and at the same time, just we heal each other from sharing it to the world, right?
Yes.
And we talked about energy, and I'm all about that. I think growing older and wiser, you tend to really take importance on our own well-being, our own self-care, in our own different meaning. I was an athlete before, my first love was tennis. And my life just revolved around that. Even when I was doing the laundry, of course, in a Filipino family, we help out. Do you remember folding the socks into a ball? I don't know, that was my role. I would fold the clothes, fold the socks, and then I would have my tennis racket right next to me, and I will hit it to the other basket because I just love tennis.
Right.
So just understanding competition, being independent, being responsible for your own actions. That's what tennis taught me. And then now fast forward, thinking about all the mistakes I did just being an athlete, not taking care of my body properly, not taking care of my mindset. If I knew about meditation back then, if I knew about taking care of my nutrition, then maybe I'd be in the pro circuit, but I only made it up to the junior circuit because the children back then that I played against were homeschooled for one, and they also were introduced to the sport at the age of 4. And I was introduced to the sport when I was 9. But in all retrospect, I don't regret anything. I still thank my parents for allowing me to even experience that, because now, obviously, I have 6 that I can guide and say, hey, guess what? If I did this at this age, at your age, I'll be here. If you have that certain goals, then you will achieve it, you know? And again, gratitude of attitude. We talk about this all the time, but just understanding the deep meaning of not materialistic things, but relationships, feelings, gifting others with your time. Giving back is not always about financial or, again, going back material things. I know I'm all everywhere sharing my story, but I've always had a soft heart for the elderly. I love my lolas. I love my lolos. And when I was granted Miss Philippines Australia, that really sparked everything in my life. Coming to the Philippines, being able to donate the funds that I raised in that pageant in Sydney, and seeing these children that were abandoned, seeing the elderly in this home. It was a Hospicio de San Jose. So happy. One Lola even, like one grandma even sang to me, and that I was 19. And I was just like, how could anybody abandon their grandparents? Like, I don't get that, And that's where I told myself, okay, I was meant to live the life I live because I'm supposed to be at service for others. I'm supposed to do greater things so that I can speak to people in positions where they make decisions, or even ones that can help me organize fundraisers or even just charity events so that we can help, right? And fast forward, of course, I was able to pursue Miss Philippines, where I represented the Philippines in the Miss World pageant in 2003. And my life just kind of went so fast after that. people always ask me, "Oh, Mafae, how come you didn't go to showbiz?" And this and that. I'm like, "Well, my husband was right there. He was a bodyguard already, and plus, I didn't see myself doing what my friends were doing. They didn't have a life. You know what I mean? Being in showbiz, I mean, it's a great career for the ones that are in there in that career path. I have so much respect for you because you sacrifice so much. And for me, I was very hands-on with my family, and maybe that's why I became very intentional with the career path that I pursued. And of course, I have to again say thank you to my husband for working so hard too. And that's where we are today, is just instilling hard work at the same time enjoying the family time, because time is precious. I hope I haven't overshared. That was like
No.
one question for now.
Oh, no, absolutely. Girl, that's what flowing is about. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're off script, and that's what I love, that we can just have a conversation and be real. I think that's just as valuable and beautiful, and this is real life stuff. When you are online and live streaming, things can happen.
Oh
And
yeah.
and if you don't know, we're almost Mercury is going to be in retrograde soon, if not already happening. So that's communication, that's technology, and it's all good. And there is a ton of energy between both of us, and that's why we vibe so much that we actually throw off these awesome devices. and and you know what? And like we said earlier, we navigate and we adapt. And so that's what I love in you sharing your story, that in every facet of your life, from, with your family, with your different types of careers, and in your athleticism, you adapt. And that's the beauty of the work that you're doing. And I really enjoy, and I admire your core value in recognizing that relationships are priceless, and that giving and service is really where it's at. And that I know that you recognize through your giving that your receiving will be tenfold, 1,000-fold, whatever that may be. And it's no coincidence that I met you at the time I did, effortlessly, and I saw in you what I wanted to do and who I wanted to surround myself with, and be very intentional with the relationships that I am now growing and building. And I think, spirit and source for all of my connections, because I may not even know the ripple effect of what we are creating together in this moment, whoever's listening in live and also watching the replay. And I thank you for it. And I know there's even more. And I'm just so appreciative of you, and I'm so grateful for you. And I know that you're going to inspire many beyond even like myself, like I started. So, and we're back. Let there be light.
I know.
The contrast in darkness is light. So many metaphors and lessons tonight. So
no one's gonna stop us. Sorry,
I know.
sorry, energy.
Yeah,
we're
sorry,
not
sorry.
gonna stop. Oh my goodness.
So I thank you for dropping all of those gems, and I relate 1,000% in you being so regimented in your career as a tennis player, and now you're also coaching, right?
Yes, it's the never-ending love that I'm never gonna stop.
Yeah, I resonate with not taking care of myself when I was running marathons. The same thing, my nutrition, my recovery, my mindset. It probably would have been better if I probably would have been in a different place, and even better if I had those, if I practiced those tools, meditation, mindfulness, pausing, And with that said, you know, how you do one thing in one area of your life overflows into another.
Yeah.
Therefore, my relationships would be even better.
Mm-hmm.
So, how are you impacting and transforming lives in this point in your life?
Well, especially right now, the highlight of the campaign that my family and I just created with a discussion in the lounge room while watching a movie, because we were talking about how their age is having somewhat of a difficult time on how to post online, or just unaware of when they post something, it's actually having this ripple effect on others. And so we came up with a campaign, hashtag Save Lives Online. And how timely now, that was like 2015, imagine, with a conversation like that. And now it's highlighted even more because my passion, I was able to translate it online, the pageant scene, and launch Kumu Global Pageants, which it just full circle, targeting the youth, empowering them, at the same time changing the norm. When you join a pageant, the first thing they ask is your height, your stats, your measurements, and those were the questions that I never asked. I only asked them, do you want to represent your country? Do you want to represent your family? Do you have a talent? Do you have a give back? And once that was all yes, then I said, you're welcome. And I shared my network, mentorship. At the same time, now a lot of the candidates have turned family. Imagine, from someone in Greece, Athens, is now best friends with someone in Australia. I wanted them to experience what I experienced face to face. When I went to China to represent the Philippines, we were a total of 109 candidates. And I made sure that I got to know at least their names. I got to sit down with them just to chat with them, to get to know them. And that's something that I wanted to impart, because with technology these days, and even before the pandemic, everybody was very distracted on swiping instead of enjoying that date, enjoying that dinner. You know what I mean? It's never like having the conversation anymore. It was like, okay, let me just check my Instagram. Even though I'm with my close friends right now, or even my husband or my boyfriend, or the girlfriend, like you're having a date. So enjoy that person in front of you. When you're apart, then go ahead, get on your phone. But there were just so many distractions that was happening. And so now you're very intentional about being online, because you want to reach out to other people, have authentic connections. And of course, I just have to plug there. Kumu has become such a blessing to my family, to my friends, my team, and also, us right now being live there. We're able to connect with people globally. And of course, the most important thing, being connected with our culture, our heritage, because the founders are Filipinos that wanted to just connect with the world and understand their heritage again. So to me, that's powerful, because I was able to now connect again. I always say my second home, Australia. And going back to Save Lives Online is that I experienced just being very intentional on posting. I'm very God-fearing. I love my faith, and I had friends and family who were in the dark. And the only way that I can reach out to them is, of course, I'm going to be cool and post on social media, because I had an intention for them to feel inspired again. And so when I started doing that, I realized the impact of doing that. I had strangers private messaging me, thanking me. Thank you, Miss Mafae, for posting that, because it made my day. And of course, as a mom of 6, and I have a household to also run apart from my work. There are days that I miss it. And I would still get a message saying, "Oh, Miss
Mm.
Mafae, I think you forgot to post your Bible verse today. You just don't know how you save my life each day." I'm just like, if you receive messages like that, that means keep going,
Mhm.
you know? Or even if you don't, you just need to know that people out there need your positivity. And I'm not saying we're perfect. Yes, we have our off days. Sige, I mean, yes, there goes my Tagalog. If
Yeah.
you are not feeling okay, then don't touch your phone, because people are always watching you, listening to you, waiting to see what you are putting out in the world. And again, going back to what Anita and I were sharing earlier, is the energy. What kind of energy are you trying to share with someone that you care about? Right?
Yeah.
Yes, I shared with Anita that I am missing my son so much, but I also tell him how proud I am of the next step that he's taking. It could have been any of my kids that left, but it's just a
Mhm.
mother's love, you know, because you're always so used to just cuddling them and hugging them and just touching them anytime you want. And so I also felt the pain that my mom felt, but she would always tell me how proud she is of me. And so that's the energy that was passed on to me, right?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are going through difficult times right now. So the more, if you're feeling okay, the more that you need to be compassionate. We don't need to be sharing with the world that you don't like this person or this or that. Just all that negativity, let's not put the energy there. Let's be compassionate of what we post. Let's be compassionate of the people that we care about. Because you just never know. You might think somebody's super duper okay, but then they're actually going through something. And that brings me to, of course, just being a light worker like you, being a life coach, filling up our toolkit, always continuous learning. And I love the fact that you share that you have your mentor that's always empowering you. And like you, I make sure I ask for help when I need a question answered. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to speak up. I think that's the biggest mistake that we all make. If you remember, I was that
Mm.
shy kid too at school. I was scared to put my hand up. And looking back, I should have, because now I know more than I did then, but I should have known then to ask my teacher or to my professor, so that I could be more aware of how I can make that report better, or that essay or that speech, right?
Yeah.
This is the time to really speak up and ask questions. And again, going back to Save Lives Online, please, I welcome you guys. Hashtag that, because people are still needing that extra cheer. Like, hey, come on, be your true self. Because me, I mean, even though it's part of my research and development, not stalkerish, research and development of what I do, I always look for inspiring people on how they stay relevant, how they reinvent themselves,
Yeah.
how do they pivot their businesses, or even the way that they become intentional on the way they speak, you know? And to the ones out there that are doing it, going for gold, including yourself, Anita, I'm listening. You're you're helping me, you know? And I felt you. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Mike, sorry, Mike, if you're listening, he actually was messaging me in your episode when you had your happy tears fall. He's like, Mom, Anita's crying. And I'm like, trust me, I am watching, I am listening, and I can feel it, you know? And that's courage. I loved it.
I'm getting
And
teary eyed.
I'll wait for your next question, because that's just two questions so far. Sorry,
It's
Anita, you
okay.
know me. I
No,
can
stop. Okay, let's hold on. You do not apologize on this show for being yourself and for being in flow. So whatever comes to your heart, and I think, and honestly, I speak for every interviewer out there. If y'all want to talk, go. I don't have to ask you questions. There's no need. And
Oh my
and
goodness.
I just want to thank you for bringing up that episode. The episode she's talking about, I was featuring Marsha on there. It was
Mm-hmm.
last week. So whoever's watching, you can watch the replay on that.
Yes.
And I think it was a time in my life where I'm receiving, she's sharing a reflection for me. And her reflection is, somebody's just giving you a cheer, like Mafae would say, like, thank you for this platform. Thank you for being in my life. And she's been one of my deepest, long time relationships. And honestly, you guys, looking back as I'm listening and rewatching to these episodes that I'm doing, because I just started to do that, I'm now receiving like the depth and breadth of your words. And words are so powerful, like Mafae says. You either
Mm-hmm.
bless a person with them or you curse them. And in
Yeah.
this world that we're in right now, we don't need all that other noise and all
Yeah.
that darkness, right? And as a fellow light worker, Mafae, I received those beautiful words that oftentimes, when we're on the other side of that spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
we're just serving and we're just giving, and we forget to also receive
Yes.
the fullness of somebody's joy and their words and expression.
Mm-hmm.
And now and that was alive, right? And I'm like, uh-oh. It takes courage to be vulnerable.
Yeah. It
Yet that
does.
is where the healing happens.
Exactly.
Exponentially too. We don't even know what it is inside of a
Mm-hmm.
person when they hear your voice and their words, or you just watch a quick snippet of an episode, or somebody passes it on to you. So I encourage sharing. I encourage exactly what Mafae says, like, share your voice, even
Yep.
when it's scary, even when it's,
Mm-hmm.
it quivers. And thank you for being that beautiful friend and sister to me, to recognize that in me. And I didn't know when that was going to happen. I love and I adore each and every one of my guests. And I always encourage to emote
Yeah.
and to share energy, to share feelings, to talk about emotions. And let me tell you, and similar to you, Mafae, probably the same, we have parallel lives where as athletes,
Mm-hmm.
we're just like, so, we embody things and we get feedback through
Mm-hmm.
our our physicality.
Yes.
Yeah, we forget, the emotions is the last part of the
Mm-hmm.
equation. It may or may not even get there. And oftentimes when the emotions come, when I'm like, I worked so hard to cross the finish line with this, or I was injured and I still did this,
Mm-hmm.
the will always like pushes through. But then when our bodies are starting to deteriorate, and we're
Right.
not taking care of the internal stuff, the emotions and
Mm-hmm.
the feelings, you end up, at least for me, in my
Mm-hmm.
experience, it ended up feeling kind of like a way for me to numb. There was parts where it was, yes, it's healthy. Yes, my mindsets were getting better. And then I took it to an extreme
Yeah.
where I was like, ooh, I don't want to feel this. So I'm going to go I don't know how far I'm going to go today, maybe 10 miles. Not ever talk about it. Not even to like
Mm-hmm.
a really close mentor or teacher or girlfriend. I
Right.
internalized it and it was destroying me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with you on the tools to find a bit more balance and harmony in all that we're doing, and teaching others how to do it. And I'm so grateful
Yes.
and thankful to be on this journey with you, and that I
Super.
receive your words.
My God.
And what's that?
I said, my gosh, there's so much more. I mean, I think we're blessed now that everybody is really investing in themselves to become that vessel for others.
Hmm.
And when we do that for ourselves, and then we just see how many coaches there are now available, the different expertise they have. Like for me, that's why I really just really absorb the ones that stick out to me, and even now, like having the luxury of time, my family doesn't know this, but I also do research and development when we watch Netflix together. You know, so we watch a lot of docu stories, and
Yeah.
that's for me to also listen and understand the journey of other people's lives. So many great stories out there right now, different ages, different wouldn't be centuries, different years. Just recently, a really good one was Bob Ross. The painter
Mm.
that does the scenic
Yes.
painting in like 20 minutes. He had a
Mhm.
show before. My husband kept telling me, "Yeah, I used to watch that." I'm like, I don't think I was born yet. But anyways, I'm watching him now. So that's one. And then if you want to talk about the modern story, Naomi Osaka, close to
Mhm.
my heart because she's a tennis player. A young athlete that is speaking her feelings in her voice through her silent protesting with her masks, you know, and that was a beautiful story. And of course, hers is just beginning. And then to even greater heights, of course, this is my very intentional time with my husband is watching his NFL reality reality story with, I forgot the name of it. Maybe Nico can say it on the chat, but when they follow a team and how
Mhm.
they make it to the team, and I just see how um, the competition is a lot harder. At the same time, the teams are taking care of these athletes by having also meditation. You know,
Yeah.
apart from their practice, there's also meditation time. And if we rewind and really study, like if we're going to go the athlete route, like maybe our era too, if we had the kind of guidance,
Yeah.
wow, we will be like, in the Olympics and everything. But at the end of the day, we went through what we went through for a
Mhm.
reason,
Yeah.
you know and
I agree.
just having all these resources now, I mean, it makes me, I want to say, a better mentor to my children, to my the people that seek guidance from me, because able to tell them, hey, you can be better than you and me if you allow yourself to learn and grow with what's available for you right now. So much, there's so many things out there. Even
Yeah.
these podcasts, like you and I, we love to speak our mind, to speak the knowledge that we are taught, and I go
Yeah.
back with actions speak louder than words. That's something that I also want to share, is that you can say all the things that you preach, but at the same time you need to take action. I
Mhm.
think that's something that also the youth are trying to, hold on a second, you said this, but I saw you doing that. You told me you don't eat rice, but I saw you eat rice. Like, I just but of course there's a balance. We're all humans, and we don't need to go in the realm of, I know this is another big issue right now that's been talked about, is imposter syndrome,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And I've spoken a lot about this with a good friend of mine who has made it, you know, worked in a well-known company, was in, red carpets for, big events in the
Yeah.
US, lived in the, downtown New York and things like that, and then
Yeah.
ended up just moving to Bali. And I was just like, wow, beautiful,
Yeah.
you know? So there's a reason for, I want to say, strong individuals to go through so many challenges, because I can speak for myself. I love to share it. What you see is what you get with me. Whoever I meet, it's the same. Whether you are a CEO, a billionaire, to a janitor, or just middle class, that's what I'm very proud of. And that's what I'm proud of, what my parents taught me, is that integrity. And I know my husband and I, we speak the same volumes about this word. It'll bring you to so many places, and I always put integrity next to relationships, because when you can be the same person, whoever's in front of you, your relationships will be very, very valuable. And you just never know who you're speaking to, just like what Anita shared earlier. To the people who are listening, whoever we can inspire, we would love to inspire you even more, you know?
Well
I was
said,
about to take
sister.
over.
What did you? What?
I said I was about to take over and ask you a question.
You can ask me a question.
It was like the flow of it.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
That is the theme of flow, and this is how it works. Yeah. Go ahead. You could ask me a question. No.
I went blank.
No.
But
Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I'm that's it for now.
Well, now I
That's
need
it for
water.
now.
Hold on.
But guys, please follow Anita Vita on social media because her episodes are truly amazing, and that's why I was so excited to be part of it.
Thank you, sis. I appreciate you so much. So for those of you who don't know, Mafae and her team are the ones behind the amazing representation or presentation for you here. She runs the back end, the front end, and all the other ends in between.
Yes, I love my team so much.
I love your team so much. I'm adopting them.
Yes, our
Okay.
team.
We're
We
family
adopted
now.
you.
What's that?
We adopted the whole entire Anita Vita. We always look forward to meeting you every week.
I appreciate you. They do such an amazing job. So with that said, how can we support you? What are you up to right now? And how can we connect with you?
Yes, basically, I put it out there. You can reach me on my Instagram page or my LinkedIn, or just simply check out Anita's shows. And if you message there too, I will also receive it. But I at service to many people. I have built my tools for being a life coach, being a sacred space holder, and also a well-being boost facilitator. And I feel as though there was a big need for this. And my purpose is always to be the cheerleader or the number one motivator for other people. And I'm always asked, as well as my mentor, Kimalu, I always ask her, how do you maintain such a positive mindset all the time? And the answer to that is we don't. We're also human, and that's why we seek mentorship. We seek, having a tribe that empowers us. And that's the reason why I'm so grateful again for Anita for listening to me at that event, for allowing me to hold space and sharing my journey. I always speak on your image is your message, because your story is also important to others and yourself. Understanding the lessons, understanding the challenges, and how you can be better gives you that courage to pursue anything. And so if you want to have more chats about how you can do that, just reach out to me, reach out to Anita. We both have the same perspective in life, and that's just to be a better version of ourselves every day. And we just want to be that vessel for you. Actions speak louder than words. I want to always repeat that, because we write down so much, our goals. Of course, I should be more active on my journal. I was before. Maybe I have a bit of a traumatic moment of that because my parents read my diary when I was young. Side note. But anyway, don't we all as teenagers? But on the serious side, it's okay to vent to yourself. Like for me, what we teach our kids, have your own relationship with the higher being. For us, it's God. That's your friend. You can speak your mind. You can argue. You can ask questions. And we are always reminded with signals, with people in our lives. I truly believe that my children sometimes speak from God. Like when I'm overwhelmed, when I'm just thinking like I've got too much to do, and all of a sudden my son just comes up to me and just say, "Mom, can you just get me water?" It's like God saying, "Time out, Mafae. Just go to give your son a hug, and you'll feel better." And when I do that, wow, this like energy just flows. And for people that don't have children, or you have your partner or even a family member at your home right now, because there's a majority of us still on lockdown. If you can hug someone that you're allowed to in your home, go do it. Because that physical touch sometimes, especially now,
Yeah.
is so important to our heart, to our mind, body, and soul. Because I know my love language is physical touch. And if I was to live alone right now, I know maybe I might go crazy. But at the same time, seek for connection. I'm empowering an individual right now, and I'm just inspiring her to just reach out to your family, have conversations or questions that you don't normally ask. Even if you're repeating yourself, at least that way you're feeling that happiness in your heart. Authentic connections and relationships is the most important right now. Like, this is very intentional. It's like we're on a live show, but at the same time, really just hanging out with Anita, guys. So be that intentional. I think that's the key word. Again, if you want to know more, I do many things. So just reach out and let's see. It's collaboration over competition, and that's something that I've also learned and was empowered by great coaches. And if you just want to be referred by another coach, please ask me. Have many. But number one, reach out to Anita, okay? Because this is Anita's show, so we're empowering Anita today. Like that little insert.
I love it. I love it, Mafae.
You're laughing today. Let's keep this
What's
happiness. We're keeping the happy hormones alive today.
Oh, absolutely. Girl, laughter is definitely the best medicine, for sure. It will shift anything. It'll shift. Well, thank you so much. I know I could talk to you forever. I can't wait to hug you in person.
I know.
One of these days in the Philippines. Or if you're ever back in the States. Yeah, when you're back in the States. Or I can meet you halfway in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hawaii's been calling so much.
Yes. We are going to do an event. I'm going to call it out there, okay? It's happening. Yes. Okay.
We're going to be on the beach doing Tai Chi on the beach. Yes.
Girl, everything. We're going to do the thing. We're going to have a show. It'll be the Hawaii edition. Girl,
yes.
Look, let's set it up. I already know what's going to happen. I appreciate you and I love you. I can't wait for, to continue on this path with you. I appreciate you for being here, for sharing your heart, for always being of service and value. And I am forever grateful for your presence in my life. And I love you.
Love you too.
Can't wait to have you next episode or to co-host.
Yes, guys, watch out for that because it's going to be amazing. We're going to have amazing guests. Oh, here I go again. I have to stop myself. All right, go ahead. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I love her. She's so amazing. Look, we just want to keep throwing the ball at each other. And this is how circulation works, everybody. We just it's just like a love bomb right after the next. And that is so important, especially in this day and age. Yeah. That we stay connected, that we value and And we value and we create and grow relationships that are very intentional, and that we support one another, whatever support looks like for you. And for Mafae is to reach out to her if you want a show, if you want a podcast, if you need help with social media, if you want a fashion show, if you if you want a global company. Yeah, she can do it all, this woman. I'm so grateful and thankful for you, and I look forward to doing more, sis. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Bye. Thank you so much for being here. I know Mafae has given you so many gems of wisdom. I appreciate her so much. You can tell from her energy. She's just such a bright sun and a beam of light to really light up your life. Connect with her and be inspired, be motivated, and take action. So whatever gems that landed for you here, pay it forward. Share it with somebody else. Share this episode. Share her handle, my handle. Follow me. And as always, if you are somebody who is needing that deeper connection, you're looking for more authentic ways to boost your immune system and your health, especially if you're having difficulty with any gut issues like IBS, acid reflux, you need to find me. You need to connect with me. Let's get you to a higher level vibration in your health, in your heart set, in your mindset, and in your emotions, and keep you staying centered. As always, you guys, thank you for being here. I will root for your rise. See you next week, everybody. Have a good night.
Anita Vita rise, yeah. Anita Vita rise, yeah. Anita Vita rise.